Ma, can we get rabbits, please? The 2-year-old me asked my mom with my eyes gleaming as we returned from the petting zoo. My mom hated rabbits, but she loved me. So, fast forward 2 weeks later, I loved my childhood. I remember the clinking sound of my mother's bangles as she cooked halwa, my favorite dessert, and the irresistible smell from the kitchen that would tell me when the halwa was ready. Her kiss on my forehead when I was sick had the power to heal everything. My father was my hero. He and I would watch cricket matches together every Sunday. We would get super absorbed in the match, and I would swear with my dad as he would swear during the matches. Kya gadha batsman hai? What a dumb batsman is he? We were an inseparable duo. He was my cricket coach, my college exam tutor, my career counselor. I was the little Simba learning life skills from my father Mufasa. As a kid, my parents were my world. Then, I grew up. I became busy with my college studies, attending the parties my friends threw, finding the next big job, earning a few extra dollars of bonus. What started as twice a day call with my parents slowly became once a day, then once in 2 days, then once a week. My parents never said a word. Whenever we spoke, my father would ask, "Beta, theek hai na tu? Son, are you doing fine?" He just wanted me to be happy. I didn't realize what I was missing until last December. My father had to undergo a major surgery. The doctors could not guarantee a success, and my father was visibly scared. The day before the surgery, he gave me a small diary with everything I would need to know in case something should happen to him. As the day of the surgery arrived, my father lay on the stretcher as the doctors moved him into the operation theater. As my hand slipped out of my father's, I saw a tear roll down his cheek. It was the first time I'd seen my father cry. I stood there, unable to move, and the doors of the operation theater shut tight in front of me. That moment made me realize that my father, my Mufasa, was a human who felt fear, a human who felt vulnerability. I stood there, wondering why I never had a reciprocal relationship with my father. He knew all of my stories, but I didn't know any of his. I thought of all the questions I wanted to ask my father, feelings I wanted to share, and gratitude I wanted to convey. What if I never got the chance? After an 8-hour-long surgery, the doctors came out. The surgery was successful. I could not hold back my tears. Up until this moment, I thought I had a deep relationship with my parents, but now realized I didn't. There was so much we never shared. What matters to us, what drives us, what scares us. I wanted more. I wanted to have a real, honest, and emotional relationship with my parents. One where we could be honest about our feelings. One where we could be ourselves without the fear of disappointing each other. The only thing I didn't know was how. Fortunately, after my father's surgery, this happened naturally with him. Seeing each other's vulnerable side brought us closer. However, I struggled to find the same relationship with my mother. She was immensely loving and caring with her actions. This is a woman who left a booming career as a banker so that she could take care of me. But she was also tough and demanding with her words, especially when it came to doing well in my exams or getting a good job. She had sacrificed so much for me that I wanted to be worthy of her efforts. My fear of disappointing her created an emotional distance between us. In an attempt to close that distance, I started calling my mother every morning. We would talk about what I had for dinner, how are my classes going, what happened in her day. During those conversations, I wondered, am I deserving of her love now? I didn't know. Our conversations felt superficial and cosmetic. This wasn't the relationship I wanted to build. Clearly, the phone calls weren't working. So I decided to increase my frequency of visiting home. This summer, I skipped a trip with my friends to spend 2 weeks back at home. I was spending as much time as I could with her. I wondered, am I deserving of her love now? No answer still. I didn't know what will make me worthy of her love and sacrifices. I didn't know what it takes to have a real relationship. I had run out of ideas. Last month, during one of our usual phone conversations, I decided to simply ask, "Ma, are you proud of me?" She was surprised and replied, "Of course I am. You're the best son in the world." I pressed further, "Ma, are you proud of me?" She replied, "Give me a minute." She returned with a poem she had written for me when I was 2. She read out the last stanza. "How can I ever thank Almighty for this, until and unless I make him a promise? I will make my son a true human being. He keeps the path of truth, I shall be seen." A true human being. That's all she wanted. Her response changed everything for me. I didn't have to jump through all of these hoops to be worthy of her love. I just had to be a good human being. I felt closer to my mom 7,000 miles away from home than I ever felt when we were in the same house. Our relationship with our parents shapes who we are. I have come to realize that my super type A personality was shaped by my desire to be deserving of my mother's love. How might your relationship with your parents shape you? By being closer to our parents, not only do we create an opportunity to fully see ourselves, but we also create an opportunity to separate fact from fiction, separate the truth from the stories we have been making up. No matter where you are in your relationship with your parents, there are more possibilities. Don't settle. A few months earlier, I would have said I have a deep relationship with my parents. But now I know so much more was and still is possible. Sometimes building a real relationship just requires starting with a question. My question was, are you proud of me? What will your question be? Thank you.